Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. Thank you to my subscribers and welcome to the newcomers. If you like what you see, please subscribe, help grow the channel, comment, like, and share. I thank you so much for being part of this journey, and thank you so much for all your beautiful comments. And please feel free anytime you need help to create any of these pieces, just message me and I'll help you with it. I also like to remind you to hit that bell notification for new uploads. And thank you everybody in the groups, in the crochet groups that I'm involved in, for all your beautiful comments and your support. I can't thank you enough. Today we're going to create something as usual. Usually don't have an idea what I'm going to do. So I go with the flow, and as I'm going, ideas start popping up, and from there I carry on. So hopefully you'll be part of this and create it with me, and we'll end up with something beautiful for sure. This, I will be creating it in red, multicolor red, which has white and red and light pink, reddish, I would say. And this is pure red. And of course the white, and I might even use, I'm not sure at this point, maybe yellow and maybe multicolored green. I have no idea. I go with the flow. It's always best to advance the video to see if I have changed up any stitches or any colors that I might have added that I had not put it on here as a demonstration, because I do tend to do that. If I feel that I need to change up a color, I will. This is yarn, not yarn, sorry. This is thread 4. I have a habit of saying yarn. It's easier for me to say yarn than thread. Thread 4. This is Ladybug. This is European Portuguese thread. 100% cotton. I use number 4 in all of them. But I'm sure you can find them if you're in the States or anywhere else. You can go to either order on Amazon or Hobby Lobbies, Michael's. I'm sure you know many crochet places where you can order. I know that Walmart has size 3, which is similar to this size. It's a little bit thicker than this one, which I prefer, and I love working with it, by Aunt Lydia. I know they have in white and cream, and I believe in beige, but I don't think they have size 3 in colors. They might have it online though, I'm not sure. But Hobby Lobbies have a different sizes and a whole collection of different colors from what I've heard. So you want to maybe check that out. I know they do have in colors at Walmart, but it's size 10. If you want to make your pattern smaller, then you can use size 10, because size 4 will give you a pretty good size of pattern. So we're going to get started, and before I get started on this one will be dedicated to my beautiful and best friend, sister, if you want to call it. She's like a sister to me, Miss LiLy. She's in Montreal, Canada, and she's my best buddy. She's a terrific, tremendous human being that I absolutely adore and love. Down-to-earth person. Couldn't ask for a better person in my life. So LiLy, this is dedicated in your honor. I love you very much. I miss you very much. Hopefully you'll take that trip and come to the island and visit me. I hope you're going to enjoy what I'm going to make for you today, my dear, in your honor. So I hope I get to see you soon. And let's get started, everybody. Oh, like I wanted to mention, I've mentioned in a few videos before, most of these patterns that I'm doing now, the next few more patterns, will be dedication to family members of mine, in honor of them to remember me by, and have this on YouTube as long as YouTube exists. So this is something I wanted to do special for them. And I have already quite a few out in their names. And this one is for my best buddy, LiLy. So we're going to get started. Thank you so much, everybody, again. Let's do this. So we're going to start by doing a chain. So you lock in, you do your first one. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll let you know how much of chain stitch I'm going to do in a few seconds. Okay, everybody, so I did 37 chain stitch, 37. Now we turn once, we go back 4. 1, 2, 3, and on your fourth one, we're going to do the stitch. We're going to do a stitch for each loop on this chain, grabbing back loop only. You're supposed to end up with 35 regular stitches. So continue on. I'll do mine and I'll meet you on the next row, starting once we finish this row. So we finish this with 35 stitch, go up 3, and I'll meet you there. Okay, everybody, so we went up 3. We're going to turn once. We're going to skip. Get you closer. We're going to skip this first one, not this, because this belongs to the chain here. Okay, so we skip the next one. We go to the next one here. So we skip one, and we close it in. We're going to turn once. We're going to come back in this stitch we just finished making. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to close it like this. We're going to turn again. We're going to skip one again. And we're going to close up with a stitch all together. So you're going to have a poof sideways, let's say. If you understand what I mean. Again, you go in once, you go in twice, and you go in 3 times. You close it, but don't close it completely. Skip one, go to the next one. Again, we're going to do this throughout the whole row. 2 and 3. Skip one, go to the next one. Gorgeous. I'll meet you at the end. So we finished doing the last one. We skip one and we attach it right at the edge. You're going to have 16 popcorns. Go up 3. We're going to do another row of stitches like this one. You're not going to do this first one here because this is part of the edge. You're going to go directly into this one here. Sorry. You're going to go into the middle here. And then you're going to go right in here. And then right in here. So basically, you don't do this one. You go right on here. It's like having the edge here. Then you go right on here in the center. And then you go right on the line again. Now we're going to go here, and then here, and then here, and then here. So until the end. So not complicated. So it's one row of this and one row of the popcorn. I'm going to do mine. I don't know how long I'm going to have it. I'll let you know. Okay, so we've reached the end. And we did it here on the middle, like we've been doing them here on the middle. Now, because we're at the end, to make things easier, we are not going to put it in here. We're going to go directly into the third place here, and then things fall into place as they're supposed to. Then you turn around, 1, 2, and 3. You'd come into the next one, and then you start doing your popcorn again. 2, and 3. You don't close it up. You automatically skip 1 and you go in your next one. Again, 1, 2, and 3. You skip 1, you go into your next one. So you're going to have them lined up like the bottom, as you can see. Now we're going to do the next popcorn. And then the next row, again, all stitches on top until the little loop here. So I don't know how many I'm going to do. You could always advance the video and see until how long I'm going to do it, to see how long I want this table runner. I'll see in a bit. I also want to remind you that you will be having 33 stitches on here and always 16 popcorns here. Okay, so the first one we don't skip. Okay, we go directly right into it, and then we skip, and then we do the popcorn, then we skip, and then we do the popcorn. So I just want to make sure that you know we don't skip this one. Okay, you go directly. Once you do your 3, you come into the next one, and then you start skipping. So you'll be having a total of 33 and 16 popcorn. Okay, everybody, so I pretty much finished mine, and I did 49 rows. So you start with stitch over the loops, and you finish with stitches. It gives you a total of 49. If you want to go bigger, then you keep adding on. Just make sure you finish with stitch and not the poof stitch. Okay, so now we're going to make little squares. So you can go straight from here. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do 5 because it's for 2 separation. So you're going to go right in. I'm going to get you closer. You go right in the corner here. And you have 1 square. So that's like 3 going up and 2 separation. And then 2 separation again. And you go into the corner again. So you're going to do on every single one of them all the way around. Okay, so just make little squares, nothing to it, all the way around. Like that. So you do on every single row, right at the edge where the row separates, and you make that square. And we're going to do that all the way to the end here. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, people, so I'm just going to show you what I did because I almost forgot to show you. So we did all the squares on each row. You get to the corner here on the last one, and you're going to put 2 on the same place with 2 separation. So you're going to put your regular chain on the corner. You're going to do 2 separation. You come back to the same place, and you sort of make like a V because we wanted to round up the corner. So you make 2 separation. Now you're at the corner here. You're going to skip 1, 2. On your third one, you're going to put it in. So 1, 2 on your third one. Okay, so you have 1, 2. If you count these, will be, this is the corner one, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you count the stitch. Now, if you count just the loops here, without counting the corner, okay, because the corner is done, you're going to do 1, 2, and 3. Okay, I think it's clear enough. 1, 2, and then you skip 1 and 2, okay, because you're there. 1 and 2 you skip, you go into your third one, and you do it again. 1, 2, 1, 2 you skip, you go into your third one. 1, 2, 1, 2 you skip, and you go into your third one. 2, 1, 2, and your third one. You're going to do the same thing on the corner again. You're going to make like the little V. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Make sure you grab well your needle through it. Now, as you can see, 1, 2, and 3, it would have been right on, because we're here, right? So if we counted 1, 2, and 3, we would have done it here, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go right into the corner. So this happens to be like 4. Let's say your fourth one. So we're in the corner, 1, 2, and then we come back into the rows again. So your corners are going to stay like that. Okay. And then 1, 2 again. If your stitch is too tight, that instead of doing 2 here, do 3. And if it's too loose, instead of doing 2, do 1. And that's how we work out with the stitches, depending how loose or how tight your stitch is. Now we're going to do 2 separation and go back on each row, each edge of the row, where they connect rows together. I'm going to do that all the way around to the end. Okay? And this is what it's going to look like. Okay, you guys. So we pretty much came to the end, as you can see here. Now don't forget we have like a V on the corners. So in order to have like that V in the corner, we cannot just jump over here, right? So you do your 2, 1, 2. This is the start of the other one. So you'd go back into the same one, and 1, 2, and you lock it up top. So you have your V right there. Perfect. And then you have your V here on this corner. So you want to make sure that you have the same amount of squares on this side that you have on this side. In case you're missing, you need to add. It's not an issue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm only counting the middle. 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I have 11, so it's perfect. We know that the sides will be exactly right if you did row by row. So you should not have any problem. Okay, now we're going to go into the next step. Give me a second to think what I'm doing next. Okay, you guys, so I've decided to cut the yarn here, the thread, whatever you're working with. Hide your thread, your yarn through the little loops. It doesn't matter how you're going to hide it because the next row is going to cover it. So just put it in between the middle loops there. And you should be okay. At least a few more. Okay. Now don't forget that this is the right side up, as you can see, because the back part is flat. And this is sort of like a 3D if you look at it well. These poofs, right? Now the back part is flat. Okay, so make sure you have it up. Okay, excuse me. We're going to do now the multi-green. Wasn't sure if I was going to use it or not, but I am. Okay, you guys, so we're going to grab the first one here, this first stitch here. Not the corner one, not the V one. We'll figure that out to the end. We're going to lock it in. We're going to go up 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Because we're going to do another V in here. Like that. Okay, get you a little bit even closer. Okay, so what we're gonna do, I'm gonna see if it's a 1 separation. Or probably 2 separation, I'm not even sure at this point. One, 2. I think it will be a 2 separation. And then we're going to do 2 separation in here. Again, we're going to make V's like that. And then 1, 2 again. Come back down. Let me figure this out a minute. Okay, you guys, so we're going to do 1 separation. And we're going to go where the stitch is. And we're going to lock it in. And then 1 separation again. And we're going to do the little V on the next one here. 1, 2. And back on the same one to do the little V. Like that. 1 separation again, going to the next. Like that. And then 1. And do like that. 1, 2. And back into the same one to make that little V. Okay, we're going to do that until the corner, and I'll be back at the corner to show you what we're doing next. Okay, so came to the corner. So we did our little V, our small stitch, 1 separation, and we did our V in the corner again. 1 stitch, 1 small stitch, 1 separation, and do our V again. So nothing to it, just regular V on the corner, inside of the V, like that. And we're going to do all 4 corners the same way, nothing changes, okay? Okay, I'll meet you at the corner. Okay, you guys, since we are on the side short one, and we had 11 stitch and not, 11 squares and not 12, so we're not even, and we're supposed to be even, but anyway, no issues. Okay, so we left the corner here, and we went in. And then we did the little V, and then small stitch, little V, small stitch, little V, small stitch, little V, small stitch, little V. And as you can see, we would end up with 2 V's here, so that's not good. So what are we going to do? We're going to cheat. We're going to just make a little small stitch in here. And then we are going to come back into the corner here so it can stay even as far as stitches go. And then we'd proceed the same way. So we'd do one stitch and come here and do it like that. One stitch and then continue on your sides. Get to the other corner. We're going to cheat again for sure because we're not even, right? Normally for you to be even on your stitch, you would have to have at least the 12 squares, and we don't. We have 11, which is fine because we can cheat here like we did, right? We put a small stitch. We didn't do two V's, one beside the other. We put the small stitch and we're all good. It will come out the same way as here, and it's fine. So we'll be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 groups of, not counting the corners, we have 5 groups of V's. So we have 5 V's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is fine, no issues. Okay, so we're going to continue on to the side because we have all this side done already. And I'll meet you at the end. Okay, you guys, so we are on the corner again, on the side corner. Remember, we started the side corner, but we didn't add in the corner, right? We started right off the stitch here. So we are on this side. We finished the V on the last stitch before the V on the corner. So we're going to cheat again. One stitch separation, just go right in the middle. One stitch separation and go right into the middle of your V on the corner. So not complicated at all. One stitch separation again. I just want to make sure that we have the same way on this one here. Yes, we do. And then one stitch separation, and then you go into the next one and do your V. So it can total up the same way as we have on the other side. So nothing to it. Oops, give only one. 2 separation on the V's and 1 separation between V's. And we're going to do the same thing here in the corner. We're going to have to cheat also over here. So we pretty much cheated here. And we cheated here. Same thing as we did on this side. We've cheated here. We went into the V and cheat here and go right into your first thing. Now you can cut your yarn, your thread, whatever you're working with, and tie up loose ends, whatever works for you, going between the loops, because the next row is going to hide it. So just go in through a few loops here. Okay, so now I'm going to decide the next color. Be right back. Okay, you guys, now with the yellow, right where the corner is, not where the V is in the corner, but the extra small stitch we did. We're going to do a small stitch We're going to do 1, 2, 3, and I'm hiding my thread, 4, and 5. So we have 5, and we're going to grab no, not where the small stitch is. Hold on a minute. Trying to figure this out. It's part of the creation. Okay, so where we have the V, we're going to put on the, let's try this way. Small stitch there, right where the V is. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we're going to put it right here. We're going to go up 1, 2, and 3. We're going to turn it around, and we're going to do 12 stitch in here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to turn it around again, and we're going to stick it where the small stitch is. Okay, you see you have it like that. We're going to go and we're going to put it where the small stitch is, and we're going to lock it in. And then let me figure this out. Okay, you guys, so we're not going to start on the corner V, but where we cheated with a small stitch, we're going to put a small stitch there. We're going to go up 5, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and we are going to lock it in where the other small stitch is. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 up. We're going to turn around, and we're going to do 12 stitches inside of this little loop of 5 stitch that we just created. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We're going to turn our work around again, and we're going to come and lock in where we have the first stitch we did. So it's going to be turned like that. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to come, we're going to lock it in on the other small stitch. That means we're not touching the V. We're going to go up 3, and we're going to do 12 stitches in there again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we have 12 regular stitches. We are going to turn our work to the front. We're going to come where we have locked in the small stitch, and we're going to lock it in again with a small stitch again. So you're going to have this effect. Okay, so our corner one is still there in the corner. We didn't touch it. And we'll figure that out when we get to the end. Okay, everybody, so we're pretty much doing these, whatever you want to call them, half paddles for the flowers. Coming to the corner, we don't want to do that because it's going to pull too much, and I don't want it to have too much in here either. So I've decided to go with just a regular stitch. Now, coming to the last paddle here, on the side, because we're on the side, we'd lock in after doing it, and right away, again, take it down for you to see. This is what we're going to be doing in the corners. So we've locked in after doing our paddle. We're going to go straight in here. Oops, sorry. We're going to turn once, and we're going to do 3 regular stitches right inside of just before the V. So 3 regular stitch, 1 on top of the other stitch. I'm going to overlay it, and then 3 inside where the V is on the corner, so we can have a nice round corner. And then 1 inside of the stitch also, as you can see. And then 3 more here at the other side on the beginning, where we had cheated the small stitch. Okay, so it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 1 on top, 4, 3 inside, 7, 1 more, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we are going to go right in here with a small stitch, exactly like we have here. So we have a nice round corner. And then we proceed with the 5 stitches to do our paddles again. Come to the next one where the small stitch is, and we're going to lock it in. Go up 3, turn your work, and do your 12 regular stitch in here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we have our 12 stitches. We're going to turn to the right side again, and we proceed doing the paddles like that. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going to the small stitch, lock it in, 1, 2, 3, turn to the back, and do your 12 stitches again until we meet at the corner again to do the round corner. Okay, so we're at the corner again. We finished doing the last one here. We're at the corner, so you'd come in right on the side and you do your 3 stitch, 1, 2, and 3, 1 overlapping on the stitch, 4, and then 3 inside, 5, 6, 7, 1 overlapping, 8, and 3 more, 9, 10, and 11. You come down and you lock your stitch in. Then you proceed 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you continue on your side again as we finish doing the other side. And you do your 12 stitch inside like we've been doing. So nothing to it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 11 and 12. Come where the other stitch is, where you started, and lock it in. So this is pretty much going to be like that. See if you can see it. Okay, we continue on, so proceed the other 2 corners the same way. Okay, you guys, so we're going to take the green, and where we have the stitches here, we are going to do the stitch over stitch. Okay, grab any corner you like. So we are going to do stitch over stitch. I advanced mine so the video won't take too much memory, and I can also hurry up and finish it. So pretty much stitch over stitch. We're going to do this all the way around the same way. Okay, so stitch over stitch here. We're just going to go into the loop back here in the bottom there. We're going to pull it out. Okay. And we're going to lock it in. And then we're going to go to the next one here, just before the V, where we have the small stitch. Just before the V, we're going to lock it in, and then we're going to come inside of the V. So we're going to come inside of the V, and we're going to do stitch, 1 separation. We're going to do 4 stitches in here with 1 separation. 1 separation again. This is 3, 1 separation, and this is 4 inside of the V. Again, we'd come to the bottom right after, lock it in, go to the other one just before the V again, lock it in, and go inside and do the 4 stitch again. We're going to do this all the way around, and the corners will be stitch over stitch, and then you can cut your yarn, and we're going to go into the red to do the flowers. So very simple. 1, 2, 3, 4, no separation here. We go directly into the space here, and then directly just before the V into the space there also, which is in between the yellow. Okay, I mean right after the yellow, and then back in and do your 4 stitch. So do this all the way around. On your corners will be stitch over stitch, and then you continue on with your 4 and your small stitch in between. If you need to look at it again, just rewind the video and you'll see how it's put inside between them. Okay, just want to make sure you guys got this properly. You know, sometimes when when I stop recording, I'm working on it, and then I start thinking, maybe they didn't understand what I said. Okay, so we've put on the side of the V, small stitch, and then we go right after the yellow, right? Because here's the other V, as we can see. So right after the yellow, just before the other V, we're going to give it another small stitch. And then we turn once, we go inside of the V, and we do one stitch, one separation, one stitch, one separation, one stitch, and one separation, and one stitch. So we're going to have 4 stitches in there. No separation. We go automatically into the side again. Small stitch next to the yellow, which is before the V, small stitch again. And then turn once and go directly into the V and do the stitch, small stitch, and we continue on. I just want to make sure you guys understood what I was saying in case you didn't catch on. Well, this is clear enough. And then you go into right after, small stitch. Go right after the yellow into the green, just before the V, as you can see, and small stitch. Turn once and go inside of the V. I think that's explained well enough this time. I can at least relax my brains a bit, not worry about it if I made it clear enough for you guys. Okay, so go all the way to the end. Getting to the end, we cut the thread or the yarn, whatever you're working with, and we're going to work with the multicolor. Okay guys, so we've come to the last one just before the corner with the stitches, and I don't want you to get confused. So we're in the last one. I did the small stitch already on the side, and now I'm gonna grab where we normally would do right next to the yellow. So you do your small stitch right next to the yellow, nothing changes, and then you come up and you tie it on your stitch. Okay, so nothing to it, just cut your yarn, pull through, and hide your thread, your yarn, whatever you're working with. So this is what it's going to look like. Isn't that pretty? And the back looks like this. This is the back part. So it's nice and clean. Okay, so we're going to go into the red now. Okay, guys, so we're going to grab our one. Oops, I'm off camera. That's not good. I'll turn it a bit because I have the tendency always to get off camera. Okay, so where we have our stitch here, our first stitch, we're going to stitch it in. And what am I doing? 1, 2. Let's go up 2. Next one. Next one. Let's see if it works out this way. If I don't like it, I'll take it down and do something else different. Of course, I'm always, you know, trying different things. Okay, I think I'm gonna do the little pompons here. Hold on a minute. Let's see if it looks nicer. So we went up 2, 3, 4, and 5, and 6. Let's go up 6. Okay, and then we go back 3. 1, 2, and 3. We're gonna lock it in. And we're gonna come to the next one. Gotta stay on camera so you can see this. Okay. And then 1, 2, and 3. And then we're just going to lock it in right in there. Like that. And then you can start hiding your thread, your yarn already in the bottom. 1, 2, and 3. And the next one. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. Lock it in right at the beginning there. Next one. 1, 2, and 3. Lock it in. So it's repeatedly the corners the same way. And the last one. Now the last one, you're not going to do the pom-pom. You're going to leave it like that. We're going to cut. So we finished doing the last one. Let me get you closer. Hold on a minute. Fix this camera here a bit. Trying to figure out different ways of doing this. So we'd come on the first, oops, now I'm really far out. We'd come on the first one here. And we're going to do a small stitch. Now, my whole thing of this is making flowers in between these sort of petals, if you want to call them. Now, they don't all fall. Let's see what falls behind most of it, of the 4 stitch. You see, they don't all fall equally behind it. And my whole thing is to have the flowers in between. So I really don't care about the 4 stitch in the back. I care about is doing the flower in the middle of these yellow loops. So we are going to go next stitch, small stitch, next stitch, small stitch. And now I can see that this one ended on the middle of the 4 stitch, which is fine. But even if it didn't, I'm still going to make, like this one falls on the 1st stitch, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter. I'm still going to do what I need to do. So you go in the middle, right, of your second one here. You go up 7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then you come back 3 space, 1, 2, and 3. And you do 2 more stitches inside of the same one. So we're going to have a total already of 3 because we already had one to begin with. The next loop we're going to do 3 stitches inside. On the same loop, we want to create this flower. We want it to start turning. Next loop, we're doing the 3 stitch inside of each loop. Next loop, which is the first loop, I believe. Check that in a minute. Yes. And you still want to create 3 more right on the edge where we started off with the small stitch. We can have a firm, nice, full flower. Okay. I also want the flower to be nice and closed up and attached well into the middle here. So we are going to go through the middle of the flower. Let me get you even more closer. So you close up your flower like this, right? You go through the middle of it and you just go right where you have started your first stitch for the flower, and you lock it in, and then you go into the next a stitch, next make a small one, and then the next one make a small one, and then the next one make a small one. So we're gonna have this flower like that, so it stays in between, and this is what I want them in between. So again, small stitch. Now each person has a different size of stitch. I mean, for all I know, yours could end up right behind it, so it's not an issue even if it ends up behind it, right? As long as you do it in the middle of the yellow petals there. Okay, now since I have it here and it happened to be the first one of the four groups here behind it, so this is gonna fall in the middle. I'm gonna go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Go back 3, 1, 2, and 3, and that's 2. One more makes 3 stitch. You go into the next one. 1, 2, and 3. Next one. Oops, I'm putting some weight here. So go into the next one and you do your 3 again. 2 and 3. Next one. 3. And this is the first stitch. Well, not the first, yeah, first small stitch right after we've locked in. So we did the 7, we did all 7 on here, but I want a nice firm one, so I'm going to go right on top of that first stitch we've locked in, and I'm going to create 3 more stitches in there so we can have a nice firm rose. We're going to turn our flower. Okay, and turn it, fix it nicely. I'm going to come here in the middle, and we're going to lock it in where we have our stitch in the back, right? Like that, so it can stay nice and firm in between the, more or less in between. It's not like they're going to be exactly in between, but it's going to give it a nice okay. So then we go right after to the next one and we make a small stitch and a small stitch, and it's all small stitches, so nothing complicated. And small stitch in between here and a small stitch right after here. So again, it's going to fall on the first one here, which is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we're going to repeat the process that we just finished doing. So this pretty much, let me just fix it up a bit. This is what it's going to look like. It will be nice once it's all fitted in. It's going to look much nicer. Okay, so you continue yours, and then the corners you already know what to do. Stitch over stitch, 3 going up, lock it in your little pom-pom. So we'll do that, and I'll meet you at the end. If you need to go back and see, rewind the video a bit and go ahead. All in between the small stitches, what you want to aim for is in between these petals. Okay, everybody, we pretty much have it done. I think I'm going to leave it just like that. So what you can do is, since we have all these leaves, loops, whatever you want to call them, facing this way, what you can do is you can open them up and stick your flower in between. So it's like growing flower out of that yellow leaf, like that. And it looks really, really nice, or you can leave it as is. So I want to thank every single one of you for joining me creating this beautiful piece again. As always, I never know at the start what I'm going to do. I just have a vision and take it from there. A lot of times I change ideas halfway doing it, so, but it always comes out a great pattern. So I thank you for being part of this journey. For the newcomers, if you like what you saw, what you see throughout all my other videos on the playlist, please subscribe, like, share, comment. It helps us grow the channel. And I thank you so much again, everybody. And I want to say, LiLy, I hope you liked what I've created in your name, my dear. I know you wanted red, so I gave you a piece of red in here. I love you very much and miss you very much. And I can't wait to see you again. So much hugs and much love for you. And thanks everybody again. And I'll see you until the next video. Thank you everyone and take care. Bye-bye. God bless.